Welcome to Civil Services Achievers Point. We are discussing today the Assam Tribune of 10th and 12th October. At Civil Services Achievers Point, we have various courses. For more details, you can call at the number given below. These are the answers to the MCQs of 9 October. And these are the MCQs of 12 October. You can pause the video here and you can attempt the questions and try to answer them in the comment section below. These are the important newspaper articles we are discussing and the important editorials. So students, let us begin with the news articles first. The first news article is regarding the scheme SVAMITVA. So this is a new scheme launched. So a question is highly expected in the upcoming examination. So the Prime Minister on Sunday said that the central scheme SVAMITVA would make those living in rural India Atmanirbhar or self-reliant. So in this scheme, under this scheme, it will be made sure that property cards reach every village in the country, and there will be physical distribution of property cards under the survey of villages and mapping with improvised technology in village areas. So APSC may ask the full form of SVAMITVA scheme. So the full form is Survey of Villages and Mapping with Improvised Technology in Village Areas. Further, he said that property records lead to confidence among the owners and opens up new avenues for investment. The Prime Minister also said that the SVAMITVA scheme will strengthen Gram Panchayats, that is the grassroots level democracy, and it will lead to easy management of land in the villages. So ultimately, it will lead to rural development and rural upliftment. So here it is given that the SVAMITVA scheme was launched to enable the rural masses to use property as a financial asset and aiming to create a geospatial database of all rural properties. So what is this geospatial database? Means it will be a land record which will be categorized by mapping or by using technology the various land properties of the rural people. And this scheme is initiated by the Panchayati Raj Ministry. So this scheme aims at a all India cadastral survey facilitated by the drones, followed by the issuance of property cards. So these points are very important, which ministry is initiating this scheme and the salient features of the scheme. Now coming to the next important topic, major ports cargo traffic falls for sixth straight month. So for last 6 months, the cargo traffic of major ports have been declining, and this topic we can study under the General Studies 3 paper topic economic development. So due to the COVID-19 pandemic, India's top 12 ports continue to witness considerable decline in cargo traffic, and it registered a 14% decline or dip in the first half of the current fiscal to 298.55 million tons. So this is recorded by the body called Indian Ports Association. Cargo volumes at these 12 major ports under the control of the center that had handled 348.23 metric tons during April-September of the last fiscal year have declined for the straight 6 months in September 2020. So, and this has happened because of the adversely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. So impacted by disruptions caused by the COVID-19, all ports bearing the Marmagao saw a negative growth. So decline, the activities in these ports decline, and here the 12 major ports are mentioned here. A prelims based question may come from this. The 12 major ports under the control of central government are Deen Dayal, erstwhile Kanla, Mumbai, JNPT, Marmagao, New Mangalore, Cochin, Chennai, Kamarazar, earlier Ennore, VO Chidambarnar, Visakhapatnam, Paradip, and Kolkata, including Haldia. So these are the 12 major ports of India. Students, you should know the location of these ports, where Paradip is located, where Visakhapatnam is located, where Deen Dayal or Kanla is located, okay, where Cochin is located, so Chennai is located. So you should know the location of the major ports, very important. Now coming to the next important topic, distribution companies or Discoms, outstanding dues to power generation companies rise 37% in August. So this we are discussing under the General Studies 3 paper, topic economic development. So power producers total dues owed by distribution firms rose over 37% year on year to rupees 1.33 lakh crore, and it reflects the stress in the distribution companies. So distribution companies or Discoms owed a total of rupees 96,963 crore to power generation firms, and this is according to the portal Prapti. So APSC or in fact UPSC may ask about this portal Prapti. So we should know that Prapti is the payment ratification and analysis in power procurement for bringing transparency in invoicing of generators. So this is very important, and this is troubling the both the central government and the state governments. So the power producers, the power generating companies, give 45 days to distributing companies for paying bills for the supply of electricity. After that, outstanding dues become overdue and generators charge penal interest on that in most cases. However, the central government had also given some relaxations to the distributing companies for paying dues to power generating companies in view of COVID-19 induced lockdown. So coming to the next important topic, the Nobel Peace Prize for this year is given to the United Nations World Food Program. So the United Nations World Food Program won the Nobel Peace Prize for its efforts to fight hunger in regions of conflict and hardship across the world. So this Nobel Prize will be asked, one question will definitely be asked by APSC this upcoming exam, because this time in chemistry and in physics also many path-breaking technologies have been awarded a Nobel Prize, and it is very important to know them. So it can be expected that APSC will surely ask a question on this. Then the next important topic, the Reserve Bank of India keeps the lending rates unchanged. So this topic we are studying under the General Studies 3 paper and topic economic development. So this we are discussing in the topic economic development. So persistently high inflation has led to the high inflation is there due to supply side disruptions. Now with seasonal factors led the RBI to maintain the key rates key lending rates unchanged. So what is said that due to supply side disruptions, as we know, due to the COVID lockdown, the supply of many goods and services have been impacted, and due to the supply, the limited supply, the inflation was higher. And as the inflation was higher, to target the inflation, the lending rates have been kept as unchanged. So this topic comes under the monetary policy of RBI. So let us look at the news. So the Monetary Policy Committee decided to maintain the repo rate or the short-term lending rate for the commercial banks at 4%, and the reverse repo rate stands unchanged at 3.35%, and the marginal standing facility or the MSF and the bank rate at 4.2%. So these are very important tools for the RBI to control the money supply in case of there is requirement to control the money supply. So here we can see here that the monetary policy evaluated the domestic and global macroeconomic and financial conditions and voted to leave the policy rate unchanged at 4%. So now we will discuss the important editorials. The first editorial is that the GST compensation and changing dynamics of state finances. So this topic we are discussing under the General Studies 3 paper Economic Development. So on October 5 this month, the GST Council could not break the impasse or the debate over the state's revenue shortfall in financial year 21 after 8 hours of marathon meeting, and the council will take up the issue on its next meeting on October 12th. So the issue is that 10 states, Jharkhand, Kerala, Maharashtra, Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, West Bengal and Chhattisgarh has refused to accept the center's formula. So what was promised to the states under the GST? So the GST is a huge structural reform in the taxation regime or taxation system that was introduced in July 2017, and it subsumed 17 different central and state taxes such as the excise duty, the VAT, to bring the entire country under one indirect tax rate. Now the states were promised a 14% incremental revenue over the last receipts in the first 5 years of GST rollout to compensate for any revenue losses. However, things did not turn as it was expected. Now, to contain the spread of COVID-19 and help the states prepare for pandemic, the central government imposed a nationwide lockdown, as we know, from March this year, and all the economic activities came to a standstill during these months. So this led to the real GDP in the April-June quarter contracted by an 23.9%, and the growth for the fiscal year 21 is expected to be in the negative territory. Now the slowdown in economic activities due to the pandemic has already resulted in considerable tax revenue losses for both the central and state government. So due to the lockdown, there has been considerable tax revenue losses. Now the share of various transfers from the center to the states, including the tax devolution and the grants, is as high as 47%, and for the poorer states and the northeast states, the share from the center is even higher. So here the author argues that the state governments are highly burdened with the fighting with the COVID-19, and the states are looking up to the center to alleviate their financial crunch, and any shortfall in tax devolution by the central government would further aggravate the problem. And as per the FRBM, that is the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Law or Act, limits the borrowing to 3% of the gross state domestic product. So if Assam's GDP, state GDP is 100, then the FRBM Act limits the borrowing to 3 rupees. So this is the meaning of the 3% of the state gross domestic product. And the state and the center had previously relaxed these limits and allowed them additional borrowings of 2% attached with some conditional reforms. So now, in the GST Council's 42nd meet, the center accepted the state's estimate of the GST shortfall amount at rupees 1.10 lakh crore and suggested that the state should borrow to fill up the gap. So the center suggested the states that the state should borrow, and the GST Council also decided to extend the surcharge on taxes over luxury goods beyond the originally mandated date of June 2022 to repay the borrowings. Now the 50% of the rest would be used towards paying the principal amount borrowed, and the remaining 50% would be towards COVID-19 affected compensation. So here the author argues that the states who have dissented highlight that the center will compensate only for the shortfall on accounts of GST implementation. So the center is saying that only the amount which is not recovered due to the implementation of GST will be given by center, and the remaining shortfalls the states should borrow by themselves. So this is a very interesting and important debate going on in the center-state relations. A mains-based question can highly be expected regarding the GST Council and its various functions. So in prelims also they may ask about the GST Council. So students should keep up to date with this development. Now coming to the next important newspaper editorial is the Dying Wetlands. This topic is for the General Studies on Assam paper, Biodiversity and Environment. So wetlands that provide unparalleled ecological services besides meeting mass livelihood needs by way of supporting agriculture, fishery and tourism activities have always remained a sphere which is given less importance, and there are growing anthropogenic pressures. What is anthropogenic pressures? Means human activities and industrial activities have pushed to bring that many such water bodies. The process of degradation of these life-supporting water bodies has hastened manifold due to the inertia of government authorities, especially those who are mandated with the task of protecting the natural wealth. So here the case example we are discussing is the Ramsar site Deepor Bill, and there is rampant defilement of the natural environment, and it is borne by the wetlands, and various government steps and acts have also been passed, like the Guwahati Water Bodies Preservation and Conservation Act 2008, and this act has to be properly implemented to put any check on the widespread degradation of the water bodies, especially the wetlands. So students should remember this act and can use this act in the mains answers. With these students, we come to an end to today's current affairs discussion. I hope this class was very helpful. Thank you. Thank you for watching the video.